technically 4 minutes early, but screw it. This is spontaneous anyway. We'll do it. Screw it, we'll do it. Hope everybody is doing all right. And I also hope the chat box will reanimate. If not, I may have to inject it with, there we go, with dubious glowing green substances, I suppose. This is, there we go, that's better. Yeah. The timing is kind of, I mean, the announced time is kind of BS anyway, because a lot of the times it just, I find that in between I have a bit of time for something like this, particularly after I've just recorded something that has the exact same setup, which I just did. So always seems like a good idea to just do some streaming when everything is already in place. You know, the camera's in the right place, it's on, focus is set, the lights are on, background is there, blah, blah, blah. It always takes a little bit to set everything up, so I might as well use it. And yeah, so timing is just because I found it's better to set it up via event as opposed to just standard stream stuff, you know. Just for technical reasons. My shiny shoulders, what, dude? Yeah, I'm pretty white. Faux show. I think the audio is a little bit peaky, isn't it? There, okay. It stopped working for a bit, so I was confused and concerned for just a moment there. Yeah, I know. It's already fixed. Can't tell if it's a jacket or a shirt. It's a jacket. A shirt. You know, this is something I really hate. Sometimes my brain does this weird switcheroo where I end up saying the exact opposite of what I mean to say, and it always pisses me off every time because I can't even trust my own brain, you know? It is a t-shirt, actually. Ah. Only two. That's unusual for me. Well then. Yeah, pretty much. If it was a jacket, it would have a zipper or buttons or something. Like it would be open in the middle. Or at least openable. What a deep philosophical topic we've started right here. Shirts versus jackets. Ermagerd. Yes. Let's see. I will frequently also check emails in case there is PayPal's coming in. It always sucks to accidentally overlook them, particularly since sometimes email notifications come in late. For some reason, wait, no, that's somebody else. Okay, fine. Just official paperwork. Give me a moment. Well, it's not technically paperwork if it comes via email, right? What is that? Data work? I don't know. Screen work? Come on, open it. Oh. A white long sleeved shirt. Okay then. Yeah, that's how much my pale skin reflects light. It turns white, like actually white. Anyway, there was a super. Aha! The lemon has arrived. My emblem from being a supporter on your main channel upgraded. Now I have the iron dagger. Excellent. For those who don't know what he's talking about, it is channel memberships. So the longer you are a channel member, the better your weapon gets. Like you get like a user icon, and there's different ones. So you start out with a hand axe, and then you get more stuff, more advanced blades. What is this? This one shiny strand of hair. There we go. Get out of the way. Whatever. Vest versus waistcoat. I mean, I was gonna say waistcoats are even more dapper. Well, it really depends on the individual vest and waistcoat. I was thinking of a tailcoat mainly, like the actual long tail. Anyway, now I got sidetracked from the official thing. There we go. I gotta do that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, do it. Do it! Okay. Don't mind me. Okay. Streaming games, not really. Really the only thing I've been playing a little, well, more than a little bit, but still, like, compared to other gamers, a little bit, is Bloodstained. Like, every available time I had for gaming was just, yeah, Bloodstained. I don't think that was great for streaming necessarily. Well, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But streams lately have just been this thing of, oh, I just set everything up and there's a bit of time in between. Just do it. You know. All right. The last one. Do you actually want me to tell you, or do you just want to be surprised? It's up to you. I can tell you, or or you can just wait for it. Unless you need that information to decide if it's worth to be a channel member for 2 years, because that is the last icon. Okay, then I will not tell you if you want to be surprised. All right. No, it's not a pommel. It actually isn't. It has one, but it is not just a pommel. Okay. Just double checking something here. Shouldn't there be another one? Never mind. Whatevs. Okay. It must be confusing when I start mumbling about things you don't see and don't have a context for, but it's just, you have to deal with that every now and then. Have you seen any of the Resident Evil films? Sadly, I have. I would rather not have. A pommel on a stick, so you mean a mace. That's already a thing. It already exists. Beard grooming tips. You can watch the video I made about that. I actually made at one point a video about beard care because a lot of people asked for it. And I certainly recommend beard oils and beard balms and things like that to keep everything moisturized. I haven't been super great with the trimming and shaping lately. It's starting to get a little bit wild, but beard care products deal with that too. Like turns bed beard into a fairly tamed affair. Comb is needed too. Sharpened trench shovels from the World Wars. I don't really have much of an opinion. I've never really looked into them in particular. I would assume they are a lot like axes. Kind of somewhat less effective axes, but probably still pretty decent. Yeah, I know, right? Live action Lion King seems like a terrible idea. I do not know what the point was of that was supposed to be. Um, Hi from sunny and hot Florida. Love your videos. Thank you. Florida is not a place for me. Anywhere where it's hot, no thanks. Do not want. Is hipster one of those Germanisms? No. Hipster is. Isn't that originally an English term? I'm pretty sure it is. Hipster is an entirely English term. It comes from the word hip, and not in the sense of the pelvic region. Anyway, if you get a big enough property, oh, it is big enough. I can tell you that. The thing is, I mean, maybe I will get into it. It's just getting into blacksmithing is quite an endeavor. You have to, ideally, you have to have a good teacher. I mean, I suppose you can kind of do it by yourself, learning by doing, and with online resources and books and everything. That would just take a lot longer and be less efficient. And overall, it's very time consuming. And I don't think I have that kind of time. I mean, I will want to do some crafting and everything, but blacksmithing, I don't know, it's taking it a little far, maybe. But we'll see. Maybe. I do think that would be a little too time. I mean, a lot of things that I want to do will be very time consuming. So the cumulative effect of spending that much time on that many things is going to be a little hard in the beginning, at least. But maybe my time management skills will get better. Maybe. Another ramble stream. Yes, they are always ramble. Well, almost. Occasionally, I've done actually thematic streams or whatever you want to call it with a specific topic and then with some setup and preparation and everything. This one is just, I just got done recording something that uses the exact same setup and I figured, you know what, might as well pop up and have a chat with people. So it's all up to you where you want to take it. That actually sounds terrible, doesn't it? Overkill, yes. 80s. I used to listen to Overkill in the 80s. I don't know what they're doing now. They might still be sounding the same. I know Running Wild does. Oh, okay. I don't know what they're doing now. Last time I listened to anything Running Wild was probably 10 years ago. It's not that recent, but... Favorite interpretation of magic in a fantasy piece? David... no, not David. David Gimmel's my other favorite author. Brandon Sanderson. He does magic very well. Because he actually puts a lot of thought into it. He just creates an actual system of rules and kind of logic. It's not water tight by any means. Like there's definitely some weirdnesses in there, but a lot more rational than many other magic systems. And he doesn't do the kind of generic placeholder, Mary Sue sort of magic, I suppose. So it's nice. Not that it has to be like that. Like mysterious magic that does whatever can be interesting too. At least if you whip out interesting, surprising effects at the right time, I suppose. It is Gemmell. Gemmell. At least I think it's pronounced Gemmell. I don't think it's Gemmell. Viking hairstyle. Well, first try to do research on it and find out that we have almost nothing about Viking hairstyles. I mean, there are some accounts where some traveler talks about what they look like, but it's kind of hard. Like we don't exactly have drawings or anything, so it's not that easy to recreate specific Viking hairstyles. And definitely the undercut, I'm pretty sure, is not Viking authentic. I don't know why that has become a staple. I mean, clearly the TV show has something to do with it, but I don't know why. It's weird. That is not. Pretty sure that's not originally Viking by any means. When's the next Patreon voice hangout stream? I have no idea, sadly. I should plan these and do them kind of regularly, consistently, but lately I've just been swamped. I mean, it's one more month till the move, and it's already just crazy. Like all the things that you have to prepare, paperwork and selling things, and or otherwise getting rid of them, giving things away, and registrations and payments and transferals and bleh. lot of stuff for sure. I mean, if enough people are around on the Discord right now, I guess we could do it now. It's not really a good reason not to. Well, okay, a good reason not to. One good reason would be time, because I shouldn't really do much more than an hour, because there's a lot to do today. So we need to limit it to an hour. But I guess we can still do that. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, why not? I'm just gonna hop on the voice chat and just to see who's there and what happens and whatnot. Might as well do it now, since you already brought it up. There we go. How are you doing today? I can't hear you right now. Uh-oh. What is it? Let me see if it's an audio setting on my end. That's the problem. It may very well be.
Push to talk.
Now I can hear you. Okay. That was on your end. Okay. I hear something tearing. Let's see. Vikings had lots and lots of combs, so allegedly they liked straight hair. Well, I mean, Scandinavians, most of them have straight hair anyway. It's just a thing. How's the move going? Well, the preparations are definitely underway with everything that entails. Made some progress, got rid of some things, but there's still plenty more to do. Oh, wait, just realized... No, wait, is this... Oh, you couldn't hear me this entire time, could you?
Nope.
Ha, and I was wondering... I was wondering if I just couldn't hear you. Okay, right. Discord wasn't using the correct microphone. My
Right.
bad. Well, how have you been doing today?
All right. I had to fix my cousin-in-law, I guess is what he'd be to me. I had to fix my cousin's car
Hmm.
today. So I've been sweating out in the sun all day.
Ah, it's hot there, huh? I mean, it is late July, so.
It is very muggy here.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, I
So when I
will. I
take a
will
shower,
miss. I will definitely miss the low summer temperatures here. I
oop,
mean, we've had
hold on, robot.
a few days that are hot by local standards, which means nothing. So, but on the East Coast, it's going to be definitely
Okay,
hotter.
you better now?
Seems good.
Uh, what has happened?
Uh-oh, something go wrong? Uh, think should be okay on my end. Uh-oh, is Discord being difficult today? It does that sometimes.
I I can't hear anything through the Discord anymore.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happened. Discord is telling me that I have audio output. I'm just gonna send you a message directly. Yeah, Discord has chosen treason indeed. I don't know what it's doing or why or.
Blasphemy. Hang on, let me try this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. Disconnect, reconnect. That may work. Or restart can also work. Can you hear me now? No? I guess that's a no.
Did it work?
Hmm. I
I can
assume
only
it.
hear you through YouTube.
Okay, so that did not work. Hmm. Damn. It should be okay on my end at least. It's telling me that I have audio output. It is the correct microphone. Yeah, when I talk, I do see the bar moving. So it's. I don't know. Okay, I will reconnect. How about that? How about that? Is that better?
That's better.
Huh. Okay, so it was on my end, even though Discord was
I
fooling me into believing that my audio was fine. Uh
I
huh.
don't know because I switched to communication mode instead of call mode and it went to
Hmm.
work. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, we do need to put Discord in timeout. That's true.
Good lord.
Discord, go stand in a corner in shame.
Discord, you have failed us.
Yes.
I will be canceling my Nitro subscription.
I mean, I overall, I have to say, Discord has been working pretty well in general. Like, I've definitely everything else I've used before has given me more trouble. Like Skype, for example,
Yeah.
has definitely been more problematic than this. Discord just generally works. Like sometimes there's a little bit of audio hiccups temporarily, but usually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't normally have many problems with Discord. Making sure everything's locked up.
Hmm.
Head off to work. Okay. And
Mumble was incredible, but Discord has a lot more features. I never used Mumble. I don't know about that.
hmm. I've never heard of that. I wish there was a way. I wish YouTube still had its own volume control where I could
Mm-hmm.
mute YouTube and still keep it open.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, if I open YouTube up while I'm in this, I'll just get everything in stereo, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep track of what's going on in the stream chat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Audio levels should be balanced now. Somebody said you were kind of quiet for a while, but I've increased the volume now, so it should be fine. And that was just in OBS. I think it was just the desktop audio coming in was lowered, so it should be better now.
Yeah, and I'm switching to push to talk.
Mm. Yeah, it seems to be good now. All right.
Cool. Where are my sunglasses?
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Even here, it's been pretty damn sunny. Too bright.
I do not want to melt my eyeball.
Yeah, it's not the greatest experience. And I've already turned kind of, I don't even know what color this is, like kind of pinkish. I don't like that. Like I just, whenever I'm exposed to sun, I burn instantly, and then afterwards I just stay kind of weirdly pink or something. It's not good.
You are you are a tomato.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, better than an orange.
True.
Better than a Cheeto. Anyway, you don't hear about World of Warcraft anymore. Well, they recently brought out the classic version of something, which I heard of, but apparently some people really like that. But I never got into it. On one occasion, I tried it out, and I was like, okay, yeah, fine and good, but this is kind of like a lot of other MMORPGs in terms of gameplay, and I don't like that. The kind of, okay, click on an enemy, go through your set of keys to trigger all your different skills and rinse and repeat is just too monotonous for me.
I was much more of a Diablo fan,
Yeah, me too.
and I really didn't feel like putting in the hours and days of time that you had to get really good at the game
Mm-hmm.
and see everything that game had to offer, because it was already a massive undertaking
Mm-hmm.
in the original form, and it just kept getting bigger and more bloated to the point where it's just like, why even try? How would you know where to start?
Mm-hmm. I tend to sometimes get sucked into crafting games. You know, the kind of stuff where you start with absolutely nothing and then you have to build up. You know, games like Haven and Hearth, for example, and Salem. And the problem with those is, you know, the kind of game where the fun isn't actually that high. It's just the addiction. Because some games are more addictive than fun, and there's something about the mechanic that keeps you coming back for more, even though it's super tedious in a lot of ways, and you spend so much time because you know you gotta go out there and then chop down the tree, and then you chop the tree into boards, and then you know, forge nails and make stuff with the boards and nails, and everything takes forever, and you have to leave stuff like leather in a tanning tub for several real life hours, and you come back and do all this, like, it is super ridiculously tedious busy work, but at the same time it's also very satisfying because you build up from nothing, and then you build your own farm and buildings, and but it's the kind of thing that I have to
Yeah,
walk away from because it eats up too much time.
I'm the same way, especially with like Minecraft or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to play, and I can play it on my own and enjoy it. But to really like lose yourself in a game like that when you're playing solo, like you said, you it's a lot of tedious, niggling little
Mm-hmm.
busy work, and you have to be a very operationally minded person to get enjoyment out of stuff like that. Like a friend of mine, he loves playing games like that by
Mm-hmm.
himself because he's just like that. He's operationally minded. He likes playing management sims and
Mm.
like resource management games and stuff like that. Right now, he's on a crazy Stardew Valley binge
Oh
for
yeah,
the
Stardew
past
Valley is
month
awesome.
and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so he loves stuff like that. Me, I can enjoy stuff like that when I want to relax and let my brain let my brain relax
Mm-hmm.
and do some busy work. But yeah, I to me games like that are much more fun with other people
Yeah.
when you can like make your own adventures.
Mm-hmm. And then they also become less tedious because you don't have to do everything yourself, especially in games like Haven and Hearth and Salem, where it's just becoming good, like building your skill in carpentry and blacksmithing and hunting and all these things by yourself is just a monumental task. It's kind of ridiculous. It's way more efficient and less tedious when you team up with people and everybody has their own role and all that. But I I don't really know anyone who is into that kind of game. It's not like it's only a few
Back
people who can really get into that. So it's hard to find people, and just going online and just teaming up with random people. Nah, no thanks. That often does not go well. But yeah, Stardew Valley is a
back.
much better balance
Oh
of.
no.
Uh oh, what happened? Something happened? Did the audio crap out again? I guess that's a yes. Did something happen to
You
the
left.
audio? Uh oh. Okay, so I'll also reconnect just in case. Uh oh. That doesn't look good. No route? What? The what now? Hmm. Something is definitely fishy with Discord right now. Okay, maybe that worked. I shouldn't have.
Okay, that
Oh, did
that
that do it? Okay. I guess I shouldn't have praised Discord. Like now that I did, it keeps crapping up.
we we have not sufficiently appeased the machine god.
Yeah, clearly. Now it's
The
just
machine
doing weird
spirit, the
things.
machine spirits are not pleased with us.
No. What do you sack? Oh, I think I got to smash a phone or something too, as a
Right,
sacrifice.
right. Percussive maintenance,
Yes.
as as the Arx Mechanica likes to call it.
Hmm. In other words, the standard maintenance in just about every game. Like the
Pretty
engineer
much.
gets out and starts hitting the tank with with a
Rah!
wrench.
No, I think my favorite repair mechanic in any game is from the Battlefield games, uh, where you get out and you basically just have this big impact wrench and you smash it up against the tank with the
Uh-huh.
trigger held down and it just grinds and sparks against the tank until it's
That's pretty good.
like, yes, this grinding this socket against the outer hull will fix this tank.
Yeah.
Like, like, do they not understand how machines work?
No. I think probably the most reasonable representation within the limits of gameplay and everything is probably when they whip out a blowtorch and start having at it. Like, okay, so you're welding like the damage, like an opening in the plate back together or something, maybe. Okay,
Yeah, like I can understand,
you,
or
you can,
like
you can
in
kind of
Sea
see
of
that.
Thieves when, or like in Sea of Thieves when you have to nail a plank up to cover a hole.
Hmm. But I mean, you can't really have any kind of in-game representation of repair that doesn't look weird. It's like so suddenly the engineer starts taking pieces off and putting them to the side. It's like, yeah,
Right.
maybe not.
I think what's that steampunk game where you and your friends are on an airship and you're like in a dogfight with a
Oh yeah. Oh, what's it called again? I know the one you mean. I can't remember the name on top of my head either.
uh, there that has a really good repair uh, like animation where you zoom out of your first person perspective and
Hmm.
it like actually shows the engineer like turning valves and tightening
Oh
stuff
yeah, yeah,
up when
right,
he's
right. Guns of Icarus. That's the one, right? I think there's another one as well with that kind of setting.
Guns of Icarus is such a fun game.
Hmm. Oh, that's a good question. Other than shooting video, what did you and Sword Sage get up to when he was in town? We didn't actually end up doing that much recording. I figured we'd be doing quite a bit, but it was like we were just out a lot. I mean, we did cutting. We recorded that, and we kind of compared notes a little bit between Hema and Chinese martial arts to see, what's different, footwork and how you throw cuts and then parries and counters and everything. We didn't record that much of that because we were just kind of. I didn't want to turn this too much into just. Yeah, this is a business visit. It was just a friend coming over, so I didn't want to constantly push. Okay, we got to record this. We got to record that. No, we just did things naturally, and some of it we recorded. But we
Right.
also explored the area a little bit and checked out some restaurants that we like, stuff like that, and just
Oh,
talked about a bunch of things.
you need to tell Sage I'm still waiting for his bottle cap challenge thing.
Right.
I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet.
Mm. Yeah, he's been super busy lately. Lots of work. But yeah, it was really awesome to have him up here and just.
Kidding me? I don't have a dollar.
Huh? What's it?
All the bills I have are huge. I don't have a dollar.
Huh. Have you been to any metal concerts? I actually haven't because I cannot stand large gatherings of people. So that's not exactly up my alley.
Last concert I went to was Coheed and Cambria here in Birmingham,
Hmm.
Alabama. It was a really good show. The best part of it was the venue was actually an old railway station
Hmm.
that had been converted. So like the stage is the old platform and stuff like that. It was a
Hmm.
really cool, intimate setting. And they also had Maps and Atlases was there opening for them, and Thank You Scientist.
Hmm. Yeah, concerts can be really cool, but it's just too much of a crowd. It's not for me.
Yeah, if you have crowd anxiety, it's probably not that great.
It's not necessarily anxiety as such. Like I don't get super stressed. Well, I don't really know how people experience that usually, but for me, it's just I'm just uncomfortable and I'm just not relaxed and just kind of I just want to get out of there. It's just this. Why am I here? That kind of thing, and I get kind of irritable.
Yeah, it's like a personal space kind of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
you can only like tolerate so much interaction for so long with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not like going out with a big group of friends or people
No.
that you're pretty familiar with.
Mm-hmm. It's like I find sometimes even just in like the grocery store when it's really crowded, like when it's you know whatever, like at 5 or 6 when everybody is going shopping and it's busy. it kind of drains me, like energy wise. It just makes me feel kind of tired and cranky, and I don't know.
None of these trucks have fuel.
Can you go with a large group of friends? I don't really like large groups. I prefer to keep it smaller, like, I don't know, 4 people maybe. I don't know. At 5 or 6, it already starts to be kind of like, suboptimal, because I prefer to really focus more on individual people. And when there's like a bunch of people and everybody's just, just talking kind of randomly in between, I don't know. It feels like you're spreading yourself too thin, so to speak.
Especially when everyone talks all at once and
Yeah.
like on top of each other.
I mean, usually it kind of splits up into smaller groups with their own conversation, but at that point, I don't really see why gather. Like, if you form smaller groups anyway, why not go with a small group to begin with? That's probably just me, but
Right? Like if you're just gonna split off into cliques anyway, like why are we in a huge?
mm-hmm.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, not to me at least. But you know, extroverts like that. They like, the more the merrier kind of deal, and hearing just the kind of the ambient noise from a bunch of different conversations. They actually enjoy that, and it energizes them and all that. It's just
Yeah, well,
everybody's
they're
different.
weird.
Yeah, I find that pretty weird, but to each their own. I don't have to understand it.
Just give me my machines any day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you drive trucks for a reason, huh? You don't have to deal with people.
Now, I will say that that was one of the things that was kind of hard about being over the road because you'd spend so long
Hmm.
away from people that
Okay.
when you do get a chance to talk to people, it's just, blah, just gushing everything.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a bit much. That's too isolated. I could see that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the fact that, like, since I had nobody to talk to, I had to, like, come up with different ways to force myself to speak because the
Mm.
doctor told me I was actually, like, damaging my voice by not talking for
Oh.
long periods of time.
Huh. That's interesting. I did not know that that can happen. Huh.
Oh, yeah. There's an interesting case that, like, the I don't know if you've ever read the novel Shibumi that inspired the
No.
John Wick movies, but the main character in that book spends like 10 or 15 years in prison or something, and he's in isolation and doesn't speak to anyone. So
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of his life he can only like speak in a very hushed, quiet voice because he can't make himself speak louder because his voice atrophied.
Mm.
It's pretty nuts.
That's interesting. I mean, it does make sense. The body generally operates on the use it or lose it principle. So usually anything you don't really use much, it just kind of atrophies.
Well, most people don't think about the fact that your vocal cords are a pair of tendons
Mm-hmm.
stretched across your airway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like any other muscular material, they will they can be strengthened and they can also atrophy from
Mm-hmm.
misuse. That's why singers and public speakers and stuff do vocal exercises.
Yeah. I was actually thinking recently I should probably get into vocal training, because I mean, if you speak a lot on camera, that's it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna keep doing YouTube, it's probably
I mean, it's good for maintenance, but if I wanted to become better at controlling my voice and projecting the voice and all of that, there's just definitely a number of impossible improvements.
no more mumble skull.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, that is something that I've sort of fixed. I still do that sometimes, but usually when I pay attention, I don't. But sometimes I just kind of I have a bit of a natural tendency toward that, and I have to catch myself and stop it.
Yeah, yeah. For something that you have to do a lot of speaking for, it's worth it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's actually a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of voice coaches that are on YouTube that you
Mm-hmm.
can go and they have videos of different exercises and techniques that you could do to both maintain and strengthen.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's suddenly quote unquote vocal experts popping up in the comments that say something about, oh, your voice is this and that, and you need to do that, and blah, whatever, and super specific. I'm sitting there like, what?
I know, right?
I don't even understand half the terms you're using. Like, can you put that like in a way that a peasant understands?
It's
A
like you're
vocal
just
peasant?
doing videos. You're doing videos for YouTube. You're not singing the lead aria in some Italian opera or
Uh
something.
huh.
It's really not that deep.
Yeah. But I mean, you
Is
always
today
have
Wednesday?
keyboard experts. Yeah, yeah, it is Wednesday.
Jesus Christ! I thought it was Tuesday still.
I sometimes lose track too.
But yeah,
So,
you gotta watch the armchair experts in their mother's basements getting mad about everybody not doing things the way that they want them done.
mm-hmm. And it
But
seems like quite often either you get no specifics at all. Somebody's just like, you suck, or this thing, like the audio is shit, or something like a completely broad and vague and no specifics that you can't work with, or somebody does plucks everything apart on an atomic level, where you're just sitting
right.
there like, what? There's
And most of the time they're not even trying to offer you any kind of constructive criticism.
mm-hmm,
They just they're so stuck in their opinion of how things should be done
mm-hmm,
that people not doing it that way just incenses them so much.
yeah, and
What's
it's
one of the worst ones you've gotten for like a weapon or cutting video of some like just neckbeard who just absolutely 100% sure that yeah, you're doing it the wrong way and he's going to
mm-hmm.
explain how.
Oh, there's been a lot of really ridiculous comments over the years. Let's see if I can remember anything in particular.
like like especially one that just like really got under your skin.
It doesn't usually get under my skin. Like the the more likely outcome is that I'm sitting there like, I really did this, was this processed by a human brain before this it was spewed out onto the keyboard? Like
Like you
I
had nothing better to do than this.
sometimes it's like some statements are so just astonishingly and obviously wrong. Like you don't even need any prior knowledge to it. It's just
I have a feeling most of those would have been about katanas.
well, there's definitely that, but there's also sometimes actually there was one recent example that I just remembered. What was it? Oh yeah, somebody was complaining on the review of the Leon Paul tournament mask that we put it on somebody and struck it. And it's he was acting like this is completely unreasonable use. Like you can't do that. And I was
You
like,
got to be kidding me.
yeah, it's like the thing that is
That is
designed for
specifically what it's
yeah,
made for.
a thing that is designed for the purpose that is being tested. Apparently, is totally unreasonable.
Oh my
How dare I?
god. I mean, that would be like if you bought a shooting target and hung it up and shot at it, and somebody was like, "You're not supposed to actually shoot bullets at it. It's not what it's meant for.
Yeah.
Or that's unsafe and improper uses." Like, like my guess is that his grievance was that you actually put it on someone and struck them. Like,
Yep.
it's protective gear.
Yeah.
That's the point.
It is. And comfort, like subjective comfort is kind of important. Like if you put this on a dummy and you hack away at it and it holds up, that's one thing. But if there's something wrong with it on the inside, like some hard pieces sticking out, digging into your head that are not supposed to, and then you put it on and use it for the intended purpose. That's kind of important to know. You have to know
Yeah,
that okay, this
absolutely.
this thing, whenever you get struck on the outside of the helmet, something inside will just bury itself into your cranium. That's
Right?
kind of important, and comfort and the way it sits and how it transfers vibration and all. I Yeah, I was just sitting there like, okay.
Yeah,
Apparently
that's just
testing.
like
Yeah,
that's tremendously incongruous. That
yeah,
would be like if you had like mass produced suits of plate armor. It's
yeah.
like, no, the reason plate armor part of the reason that plate armor was so expensive was because it had to be made and custom fit to the person wearing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other
It
thing
could
that really bothered me, and this is something that a lot of people commented on there. There's so many comments of it's supposed to dent. I'm sitting there like, what?
no it
Excuse
isn't.
me, what? Like apparently they were interpreting it in the way, well, if it deforms and absorbs more of the force, and you want that, except that a
But then you have a
well-designed
piece of metal sticking in your head.
not only that, but also a well-designed helmet is supposed to make hits glance off, not
It's
make
supposed
them
to
dig
deflect
in.
force, not
If
absorb it.
exactly, if you create a dent, it now has something to grab onto. It's now digging into the helmet and transferring more force into the thing, not less. Like what?
Exactly.
And there were a lot of those.
like
That
that's it's the same reason why like tanks and battleships their armor is angled
yeah.
that way it doesn't have to be so thick because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't take the full brunt of the force, it deflects it.
Yeah.
That's why if you look at suits of plate armor, they have creases and angles and rounded surfaces to
Mm-hmm.
deflect the force, not absorb it.
Yep.
What it what why?
And yeah, that's a good point. There's a difference between elastic and plastic deformation.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, if it caves in a little bit and then springs back, that's fine. Yeah, but
yeah, that's one thing.
if it, especially the dents will just get worse and worse the more you do it. So eventually you have this really deformed craterous thing that keeps holding onto the blade, and also of course the more the steel deforms, the weaker it's going to get over time.
And you know
So
how expensive it would get if you were constantly having to take your gear, your armor, and get the dents beaten out of
mm-hmm.
it and everything?
Yep.
Plus, the more you work metal, the like it
Softer
destroys
it
the
gets.
crystalline structure from the forging
Mm-hmm.
and makes it weaker.
Yeah.
So you can't just keep like denting it and then hitting it back into shape and
Yeah.
expect it to still, protect you the same.
Yeah. If you keep doing that, it's the same way if you
That's
take
just
a
stupid.
piece of metal and you keep bending it over and over again, eventually it'll just pop off. Like it's the same kind of thing. You'll just weaken the material.
Fall again.
So this is not a good thing. And it's astonishing that anybody would try to claim it is a good thing. Uh-oh. Man, Discord is
You
really...
go out again.
Can you hear me now? I guess that's a no. Okay, let's see here. It is not behaving today. Okay, let's see if that did it. No? What is it with Discord today?
There it is.
Okay, there. Huh. Yeah,
I
I
can
said it.
never tell if it's like my end or yours because
I don't know either.
like I don't know if it's my phone's operating system or whatever, but like
Hmm.
Google gets extremely mad if I don't use it like
Hmm.
constantly. So sometimes like I don't know if it's Google or AT&T, but my signal will just go out randomly and it will not come back. I've tried. It
Mm-hmm.
will not come back unless I open a Google app.
Hmm. Weird. They're probably
That's your
thinking of
that
some styles of motorcycle helmets which are made to discard after an accident. Maybe, but I mean that's like you pay several hundred bucks
no, but
on a
even
sparring
then,
helmet, and
I mean, even then, I would say no because most motorcycle helmets are not made to be disposable.
mm, bicycle helmets
Obviously,
generally are. They are really supposed to crack and then you throw them away afterwards.
exactly.
Mm,
But like motorcycle helmets cost like $80 to $200 depending on how much how fancy you want it.
mm,
So they're not meant to be that disposable. And plus, you shouldn't be wrecking your motorcycle often enough to need a disposable helmet in the first place.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would
I
think
mean,
you would have enough skill to not crash.
yeah, if you crash several times a year, then maybe you want a different vehicle.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't ride a motorcycle, or at least only ride on the weekends when there's no traffic or
Mm-hmm.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be kind of cursed. Like several accidents a year. I mean, some people are kind of genuinely cursed. Like they keep getting into situations where crap happens to them, and it doesn't matter what they've been doing. If they've been paying attention and being cautious and everything, it just happens. It just keeps happening to them.
Yeah,
I have a few friends who are like that. I just
some
like
people
what
really
did
are
happen
just that
now?
unlucky.
Like yeah, like they post something on Facebook and you're like, whoa, what just happened to you again?
Like John McClane in the Die Hard.
Yeah,
Like, how could
pretty
the same
much.
shit happen to the same guy twice?
Mm-hmm.
3 times, 4 times, however many movies
Yeah.
they've made.
At least in the third, it wasn't the same thing that happened again, but it's still like crazy shit still keeps happening to him.
Not usually involving terrorists.
Yeah, he's a terrorist magnet.
It's like why doesn't he just join an anti-terror
Mm-hmm.
or something?
Aren't you kind of one of those candidates, YouTube wise? Not really. Like, if you mean just YouTube in terms of how much does YouTube screw over a channel, other people have had it worse. Like, it's sure I've had some issues, but I've seen definitely worse. And lately, it hasn't been so bad anymore. So, not terrible. Why do people use Tommy guns? Because they're badass. I mean, come on, dude.
Because because being able to shoot like 30 bullets at once is much more effective than shooting like 10 or 5.
Yeah, I've
Rapid
only been
fire
hit
is
by
more
one
better.
car. Yeah, I guess. Could be worse for sure. Uh, how the view counts going lately? Relatively stable. Like still a far cry from what you would expect considering the subscriber numbers, but you can't go by that anymore nowadays because YouTube has changed the system completely where basically like the vast majority of views do not come from subscriptions but from recommendations. So the clickbaitier you are, the better, and I hate that. So,
Yeah, I get that YouTube is trying to be all like, oh, we're living in the future and everything's automated and algorithms and everything.
mm,
But like, when you've got a human business where humans are involved, you need humans to oversee things. Like oversight can't be automated.
yeah, I mean, sadly, automation is just necessary because it's just considering
The sheer
the
scale, yeah.
volume, like the crazy amount of videos that are being uploaded every day, and all the the number of channels, and there's I mean they have to do that because there's no way they could employ enough people for that. But there still
But
needs
they
to be, for one, there needs to be more transparency, and also there needs to be more like the
well,
ability at least to get in contact with someone. Like they don't have to monitor everything manually all the time, obviously, but at least it
there
should be
need to be
possible.
humans available.
Yeah, exactly. Make them available. Like proper
And
customer service,
it's like
basically.
YouTube's approach to any time there's a criticism of their system or their policies is just to like, okay, well then we're never going to allow that ever again. There,
Yeah,
like no, like YouTube, temper your response.
yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
Like, like a instead of just taking a sledgehammer and being like, okay, one person complained about this one situation,
Mm-hmm.
so we're just going to rig the whole algorithm to, not allow any of this type of situation to ever occur again, regardless of the circumstances. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, just work with people and fix the problem. Don't like try to fix all future problems that might occur. It's
Yeah.
just you're gonna have to accept that.
It's kind of like a TSA level of response. Oh, there was this horrible thing that happened, so now we have to do all these things to ramp up security. And then the final result is everybody's being grossly inconvenienced without it actually
Yeah,
having any positive effect. Like,
I think it happened again.
mm-hmm. Yay. I mean, I should probably. Actually, yeah, I'm just seeing we're at a bit over an hour, so I need to wrap it up anyway and continue with recording and editing and getting rid of things and all the other chores that are to be done today. So, yeah, thank you all for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope you found it entertaining or relaxing or something positive in some sort of way. So, yeah, of course you just got here. Somebody always does. Sorry. Anyway, I will see you next time. Have a good one, folks.